Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Make Your Mind. This is the latest, I guess this would be the preview to the latest Subnautica sculpture showcase. We're going to be heading back to the Impact Crater from the first game, and we're going to be taking care of the creature, which is one of the first more hostile creatures that you meet in the game. And it's not a Leviathan. It's not anything huge. I mean, yes, it's bigger than the player. But the one thing that makes it so scary is the fact, here's the bottom half that I'm finishing up. The scariest thing about this is this. It has so many rows of teeth. And that's just the bottom jaw. Here's the top jaw. This is called the Sandshark. And I've been in the process, I have the little teeth down here. I've been inputting the individual teeth into here. You may be able to see them on the finished sculpture showcase video. I'll try to keep the mouth open so that way you guys can see this, but this is more of a sort of preview and behind the scenes of this of sorts. I actually have a picture of the Sandshark next to me looking at its mouth, and man, this thing has a lot of teeth. I've encountered a couple of these things before. You encounter them in the Dooms, you encounter them in the Mushroom Forest. You encounter them in a lot of different places. But honestly, the way it moves, it kind of swims sort of sideways in the water, opening its mouth. It seems kind of like it almost acts like a rabid dog. Look at all those teeth, man. So when this thing's coming at you, it's like that. Oh my god. That is terrifying, to say the least. But, yeah, that's the start of the Sandshark. You know what? I'm going to make this a little longer preview than usual. I'm going to keep working on this. Because I have this dark purple that I had made up a while ago. And I'm going to have to make some more. Mainly because one of the next sculptures that's going to be coming up is the Ice Worm. And that one, not too dissimilar from the Sandshark, has a lot of purple and orange. Here's the majority of my purple with a little extra. Also got some black that I have to do for the slits on the eyes. And the funny thing is that this creature, at least according to the wiki and also according to some of the PDA scans, the Sandshark is actually related to one of the fossilized research specimens that the architects actually studied. And there was a giant version of the same sort of body style of the Sandshark. But the one things that I know I do have to do, now that I've got the mouth pretty much done... Ooh, man, I also just noticed that on the side of the body here, it has almost like saw blades. I'm not quite sure how exactly I'm going to do that. I may have to resort to a tool, as much as I don't want to. But it's all good. It'll be worth it. So let's see. So, this thing has, I just noticed it has little, almost like legs on the bottom. Let's just see how exactly I can make those. It also, on the bottom here, on the bottom side, it's not smooth. It actually has a lot of wrinkles, so I'm going to have to add a little bit under there in order to make that work. What could I do? I guess I could finish off the spines on the back. So the Sandshark has 5 segments on the shell, and then it has the tail section, which is a little bit different. So essentially what I'm going to have to do is I have to curve this. I have the picture actually right on my computer next to me. So let's see here. So I'll curve that back. I'm using the picture as reference. It has these spines that come back. And it's funny how the creature actually moves in the water, because it doesn't have any sort of tail, but it has these big fins in the front, these big pectoral fins that it actually, basically it moves from side to side and actually pushes itself through the water that way. It's very interesting. It almost swims like, imagine a sea turtle without any back flippers. It's very strange, but Once again, this is Planet 4546b we're talking about. There's anything out of the ordinary on this place. Okay, so that's going to go like this. And then that is going to go back here like so. Sort of there of sorts. Then that's the back of the tail. And then after that, I have to add the next spine, or I guess the next segment of the shell, which will be on there like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to hide that little bit of a gap in there to segment, because it does kind of have a tail, but it doesn't have any sort of fins or anything, so it's going to be a little bit different. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to curve that back like so. What I'm doing is I'm basically pulling with my thumb and then using my finger as the sort of template shape in order to curl that back and actually make that shape. There we go. Then I place that over the top, kind of like that, and then I have to segment each one sort of slightly overlapping until eventually I get to the head. God, this thing is so gnarly with all those teeth. Oh man, this thing's gonna end up pretty cool. I do like the shape of this thing. It's just so frantic when it's swimming through the water. It's just kind of like this. It's it's so crazy. Like I said, it almost acts like a frantic sort of like rabid dog when it comes after you, but it has buzz saws in its mouth. How crazy. Set you right there. And I'm gonna keep working on this. This has, what I did notice is that on the back of each one of these shell segments, it does have a small sort of spine, I guess. It's like not a spine like a back spine, but more like a sharp sort of blade that comes off the middle of the shell, kind of like you see this. Here, let me take that off so I can work with it a little easier. There we go. It's actually it's a very pleasant morning here where I live. It's I don't have, I'm currently waiting for materials for another job, so I had this morning to sort of get started on some new sculptures so that I can make some better content for you guys. So once again, if you're watching this, I sincerely appreciate you. I very much do. I hope that the content I'm making, I hope that you're all enjoying it. And see, I'll try to keep that in the frame there. There we go. I'm sort of looking at it around my my camera setup here. There we go. I'll put that to the side. This is a little thick. I'm going to take a piece off of that. And then use my fingers here. Now, if you noticed, I've said about this on many videos, but sometimes I do what's called the claw. Or sometimes I use my middle finger instead of my pointer finger to make sculptures. So I'll bend my other finger out of the way, so that's my claw. There we go, and then I do the same thing like I did. I curl that and push that back. Makes that little segment. And then I take the little bit of purple. I actually, with my other hands, I could usually hold a little bit of clay. If I'm using it, what I do is I'll break off pieces and keep going as I go, so that way I don't have to put them down. But these are just, like I said before, with some of my tutorial videos, these are just little techniques and stuff that I have sort of taught myself over time when it comes to actually making these things. It has taken me, I mean, I've been doing this for as long as I can remember. And it was very interesting. I was actually speaking with my mother not too long ago, and she was telling me a story about how when I was younger, they said that one of the faults that I had when I was younger, one of the things I needed to work on was my defined or small motor skills. Well, that clearly has been solved. But it was funny that basically after that, I essentially became interested in making things out of modeling clay here. Started out with me actually, I used to take toilet paper and I would get it wet and I would flatten it on the bathroom sink. and then I would use my fingers to mold shapes. And I made a dinosaur. I made 2 dinosaurs one time, and they looked like they were like roaring at each other. And I'm so happy that my parents, they both sort of fed into this talent that I have. I guess it's a talent. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little too humble, but I like to consider this to be a good thing to have. Main problem is, like with most artists, you can have the greatest artist in the world, but a lot of times they don't get any recognition really until, well, after they die. It's sad, but that's just the way the world works, I guess. Okay, so put that segment in there. Curl that around, flatten that out. There we go. So now there is the segment for that shell, and then I have this segment ready to go, which I'm going to overlap just slightly. Then flatten that out. Now the Sandshark is also slightly flat, so I don't want to make it too thick. Although I may have to add some clay in the middle here just to pick it up. Well, I do have this orange in here. Maybe I can pull it out. Yeah, there we go. I can pull that up to tighten it up. And then sort of form the shape around that. There we go. There we go. Now it's got a little bit of structure to sit on, so it doesn't try to flatten itself out too much. And there we go. Yeah, that's looking good. All right. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. This was a little behind the scenes of an upcoming sculpture showcase, the Sandshark. I am almost done with it, as you can see. I literally only have the eyes to put the pupils in, I got the fins to put on, the little legs underneath, and by the time you see that will be a completely finished sculpt. So with that, thank you so much for watching. If you like videos like this, if you'd like to see, I've been doing premiere videos where I just kind of show off, but if you would like to actually see the techniques of sort of what I'm doing, I will do sort of longer previews like this. Guess you could call them like previews or behind the scenes or something. I'm not sure. I don't really know of a unique name yet. But with that, if you enjoy videos like this, leave a comment down below if you want to see more videos like this, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you never miss the next video. And once again, if you like these, let me know. Let me know down below. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you when this is finally finished.